Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be speaking with these wonderful people this afternoon. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen so that I'll go straight in. I was given 30 minutes. Yeah. So just a minute trying to get it together. Okay. Can we all see my screen yet?
No.
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 No. Okay.
No.
All right. I'm trying to. Okay, please, if I can just give me a minute to get this together. I'll be back in a few minutes just to set it up.
That's fine.
Yeah. I was trying to use my system, but something came up, so I had to use my phone. All right. Okay. Can you guys see it now?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, maybe you can send that to me so I check you. That's fine. Oh, I think you just completed the call. You can pass in a minute. Sorry about that. Oh, so sorry about that. Pacifica was having a bit of issue sharing the screen, so it's just took a few seconds to fix that. You'll be back shortly. Okay, 1 second. I'll be playing the PS shortly.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Sure.
Yes. I think I'm good now. Okay, thank you, sir, for that. So I think I'm good now. Okay, do you have it up now?
No, I still can't see it.
Yes. Should see it right now. I'm already sharing. I don't know. I should see it now.
Oh, sorry, I was already sharing.
Okay, already sharing it. Oh, okay.
You can.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Don't worry. Just keep sharing it so that I would continue from here. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. So, yeah. So, thank you very much. The topic. How to generate funds for your business, right? So, personally, I've had some experiences generating funds for my business. Like it was said, I run a co-working space, my brand is packed, and I also work with a lot of startups to raise funds for their business. So, next slide, please. All right, so these are the outlines I'll be going through, the ideas you have that you want to fund, the funds, if you have funds ready, if you have the types of funding we have, how to get these funds, and a few current opportunities that are out there. And I'll be ready to take questions and answers. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. Yeah, so the bedrock of every business is the idea you have, idea rules the world. And anybody that is going to fund your business or give you money will give you money because you have a viable idea, right? I checked the Nets Factory's Instagram page and I saw that there's been some webinar on idea, having a viable idea. That's excellent. So I believe everyone on this call has a viable idea. I want to say that's not an assumption. Am I right? So that I won't have to go back to it. I would like a response, please.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah, sure. We do.
Okay, so I want to believe everybody has an idea. So in a general sense, an idea is in what, the returns they would get. Investors are usually, or should I say largely selfish. They always look for what they will get out of it, which is not entirely bad, right? Not entirely bad. So that is all about the idea. Now, the question you need to ask yourself is if you are ready for funding, if you are ready to be funded, if your business is ready to be funded. Yes, the next slide is perfect. Ready to be funded. A lot of entrepreneurs have great ideas. Some are even running businesses already, but do not have the requirements for accessing or applying for any kind of funding. So most funding bodies they're not your relatives, right? They're not like your friends or your church or mosque members or something. Most of them are business people. So what they believe in is what I call traction. It's very rare for you to see a business funding that would fund just an idea. Very rare, very, very rare. In fact, I'm not sure, but the only one I know right now in Nigeria that funds just idea is the Tony Elumelu Foundation. I believe most people are aware. of it. That's like the only funding body that I am aware of that funds just an idea, right? Every other funding body, investor would require you to show them some sort of prototype that you have tested this idea and it has proven viable. You know, they would like to see your tractions, your accounting, your records. And these are the things most entrepreneurs do not have or are not careful to keep record of. Now, the first one I wrote here was write a bankable business plan, pitch deck, and elevator pitch for at least 3 years, with at least 3 years financial projection. So if you say that you have a business and you would like to access funds, you know, you like someone to investors to come into your business and give you money, then you need to have like a business plan for them to look through and be able to access, okay, this is how the business will go. You know, a business plan is like helping someone that is totally oblivious of your idea or someone that's not interacted with your business to understand what the business is. So it means the business plan has to be well written. It has to be simple enough. And most importantly, if you cannot go ahead and just, you know, have a bankable business plan immediately, because not everybody is equipped with the right knowledge to write a business plan, you should have a pitch desk. Now, a pitch desk is like usually maybe like 5 to 10 pages of slides or document that summarizes everything about your businesses, the idea itself, how it will run, how you will generate revenue, and the people, your team involved usually. So that's like the summary of what a pitch desk is. You can always check up online. Wow, I can't see my slide anymore. You can always check up online on what ideas, you know, pitch deck is about. So it's a little bit simpler when compared with a business plan. A business plan is quite bulky if you have to write that. And also an elevator pitch. So an elevator pitch is very simple in the sense that if you're to meet your investor in an airport, is trying to catch a flight, or in an elevator, as the name sounds, or somewhere where you have just... The slide is gone, sorry. Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we
Oh,
can hear you.
okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just looking for my slides.
Yes, we
All
can
right.
hear you.
So the elevator pitch is like a few lines of statements of wordings that explains the idea you have and how viable it is. Enough for the whoever you're talking to be interested to invest. So you have to be able to summarize your idea in very few minutes and convince anyone who has no previous knowledge of your business to be interested in investing in it. Now, a lot of people think this is difficult. It's not supposed to be difficult if it's your idea, number one, and if you've done enough research work to have a bankable business plan. All right, I kind of want to see this anymore. I think I have to share my screen again now. Okay, I don't know if Safer is that I cannot see my screen anymore. Oh, okay. All right. Well, the next point on the line is I mentioned having the 3 years financial projection. So most business people want to see what the financials looks like on paper, and it has to look really well organized and well written. So usually this comes in like an Excel sheet where you project the next 3 years how your business would perform. Usually if it is well written, these are coded Excel sheets, and which every normal business person may not be able to do. Although you should be able to do it, but not everyone is familiar with an Excel sheet. So you could outsource it to someone. So you have to have your business plan handy, maybe your Gmail or in the cloud somewhere that you can easily access it at any point in time. Then a pitch desk is also very good. And an elevator pitch has to be in your mind. You have to practice it so that in just a minute or two, you're able to explain your idea to an investor and then invite, entice a person to join you. Secondly, I said, register your business with corporate affairs commissions if you are working in Nigeria and every relevant bodies. Most funding bodies do not want to deal with just any business. So the simplest thing you can do for yourself as a business person is to register your business as soon as possible. If you don't register your business, it's like the basic requirement for you to get funding from anybody. They want to know the legal structure of your company. They want to know if they are dealing with someone that can be trusted. And one of the easiest way to explain this, no, I'm still at the fonts ready. Slide 4. Yeah, that's slide 4. Thank you. So you need to register your business. So please, if you're on this call and you have a business or you're planning to have a business, the first thing I think is you can do it on your own right now. Just go to their website and try to register your business. You can just start with a business name and upgrade later. It's like the basic requirement any funding body would ask you for. And without it, you may not get funding. And thank God, right now, funding CAC registration takes, I think, about just 24 hours or 2 days at most for you to register that. Then you also need to check, other registration bodies. For example, if you're dealing with food items, you will be talking of, I think, NAFDAC. If you're dealing with electronics and the likes, or a gadget, you'll be talking of SON. There are quite a lot of bodies that you need to, but you need to do that assignment to know what relevant certifications you need to have as a business person. Don't say, I've not grown big, I've not done this, I don't have a big place, I don't have big money. These things I'm talking about do not take so much money to do, right? If you can sit down and write a business plan, you will be fine. If you can sit down to register CAC, the Corporate Affairs Commission, and have this certificate, you'll be doing excellently fine. So anytime you meet an investor at any point in time, you have what to present. The next point I said is good bookkeeping. Now, usually, I don't know if everyone on this call is a Nigerian, but as a Nigerian, most Nigerian business people do not know how to keep records. You don't know how important those records are. In 2020, Facebook had a funding opportunity for, I think, African or Nigerian entrepreneurs now. And one of the things they asked for was a sheet that contains how your transaction has been, maybe for like the past 3 years. So all you needed to have done in that situation, like all I did was to just go to the software I use to keep my daily record. Even the day I make just 1,000 naira, I still write it there. So because of that traction, they've seen that, okay, this guy has been in business for this number of years. He's not lying. Okay, he has this volume of patronage over time. That establishes trust in the mind of an investor. That, okay, then it also shows that you are a very careful and serious entrepreneur, that you are keeping track record, you can measure your trajectories, you can know, okay, we are doing fine, we are not doing fine, right? So it's very important if you are in business to start keeping records now. There are a lot of softwares that are still free online that you can leverage on to keep those records. And if you are good with Excel sheets, that's also very good. Then the next thing, because of time, is have an online presence. Now, so far, so good. Most funding bodies now require you to fill in like a social media account of your company or your business. All they are trying to do is establish that you are a real person doing real business. That's all they are trying to establish, trying to see how you're building your brand, if you are reputable, if there's no question around it. So a lot of times they will ask you to submit links of your business account and also your personal account. Yes, they're also trying to be sure to verify, okay, this is a real person we are dealing with. This is a real business we are dealing with. So please, if you're in business, ensure you have an online presence. I'm not saying you should flood so much there, just concentrate on it. Your social media account is not your business. It's just supposed to help build an image for your business. All right, and finally, I said learn how to sell, present your business to a complete stranger. So you can meet an investor anywhere. Yes, people can just say, like, wow, I like this, your product. How does it work? You should be able to communicate your idea smart and fast. Just in case you cannot talk, a few times you might be able to come with maybe a brochure or something book that explains. But it is much more better if you can explain your business and tell them that, okay, this particular business is a product the whole Nigeria needs right now, right? Everybody is a problem of electricity, and if you can go off grid within what your the amount of money your pocket can afford, then you'll be fine. So this particular product provides you the solution that you need, and it is pocket friendly. It has a lifespan of 3 years, and every household, whether rich or poor, can go with this. Find a way to present your product in a way that the person will be interested. No bogus language. You're the one that knows the background work you have done. Explain in a layman term and in a very direct way. Don't waste people's time. Investors don't like people that waste their time. Next slide. All right, types of funding. Right, so the types of funding, the first one is bootstrapping. Bootstrapping is quite simple. It is when you're using you're starting a business, which most people do. In fact, which investors believe you should do is starting your business with personal funds. Maybe you've had some savings or some money that somebody just gave you and you decided to use it to start a business. A lot of times investors are impressed by how much you have invested in your business. It shows how much you believe in your idea. If an investor is the first person to invest in your business, they will most probably disagree with you. Meaning that if you've not trusted this business enough to put your money in it, why should they trust the business to put their money? So, but if you can show up and say, okay, for the past 2 years, I have spent from my personal money this amount of money, and I would love to scale this business, and that is why I need you to come in and give me your money. All right. So that shows that you are a serious entrepreneur and you believe in the idea you are presenting to them. So the easiest form of funding you can get is bootstrapping. You have an idea, you don't have money to fund it, get a job. When you get that job, start saving up and eventually come back to your idea to fund it. Second kind of funding you have is crowdfunding. Now, crowdfunding, just like the name speaks, is getting people to believe in your idea. So the easiest place to crowdfund is your family and friends. So you can just organize a meet-up, a get-together, and at the get-together, you present your idea to them. And if they believe in your idea, which most probably they will because they are family and friends, they will, they can contribute money to you as gifts or as loan and use it to start your business. Now, the other kind of funding that exists is what we call the venture capitalist. The venture capitalist. Now, what are these venture capitalists? Right. Sorry. So a venture capitalist or VC, they call them VC also, they usually enter funding cycles of a company after there is something we call an angel. Okay, let me come first with the angel investors. Angel investors are people who invest in companies at the early stage. So angel investor is just as sweet as the word angel is. They are the one that are ready to invest in startups. You're just starting a company, you have a prototype, you have presented it, and it makes sense to them. They see that, okay, this business has a future. They are the first people that comes to fund your business at the early stage. right? So, and usually angel investors invest between $10,000 to $100,000 in your business, right? So they don't ask for so much from you. They will not ask you, okay, how much have you done? 3 years, 5 years, 12 years? No. All right. They are just interested in the early stage of your business and how they can help. Meanwhile, the venture capitalists are the ones that come. They are usually like the banks. All right. They are usually like the banks that try to give money to entrepreneurs. All right. The goal of venture capitalists is to fund the company at the initial stage and grow the company's value. So they are trying to, unlike angel investors that want to see startups survive, venture capitalists want to see startups scale. All right. So the reason why I'm explaining this is so that you will know when we get to the other slides where it's talking about what type of funding you need at this current stage. If you don't know, you'll be applying for the wrong funding. And you will discover that the things they are asking you to give, you don't have it. Now, the interesting thing about these investors is that for the venture capitalists, they don't usually have, you will return the money, but there is no interest in the money. They just want to see the business grow. All right. And a lot of times they will ask for percentage of the company. So you have to share equity. So maybe you have 100% of your company when you were starting. So when you raise, okay, let me just talk about this now. There are, I think, three phases of fundraising. There's what we call the pre-seed funding. That is the phase where before you started a business or when you just started, when you're about to start your business, every fund that comes in then at the pre-seed, then you have Series A, yeah, that's the word. No, you have the seed funding, okay. The seed funding, that's the first money you raise when you started your business. Pre-seed funding is the money you raise before starting the business. All right. So that pre-seed funding gets you started. But seed funding is like the official funding you get when your business just started running. All right. So under seed funding, you have Series A. You must have heard companies say, we are in Series A funding, Series B, Series C, Series D. I think, yeah, there's still D and the likes. So before a company goes IPO and all that. So those are different phases. Now, this investors comes in at different phases in your business. So the reason why I'm going through the pain of explaining this is so that you will know the kind of fund you need right now. So the angel investors comes first, then the venture capitalist comes to scale your business. Accelerators are another types of fund that what these guys do basically. Sorry. So what these guys do basically is bring people in. They provide like startups to fast track they provide a way to fast track you. So they're not necessarily giving you money, although some accelerator programs gives money, but they provide more of mentorship. So you started a business, maybe in agriculture, and you're trying to scale it. So they get in touch with maybe a more successful agripreneur and connect you with such a person, and they help you fine-tune your ideas and see how you can advance your business. So they basically provide guidance, support, and some sort of funding. And when they provide funding, it's usually for equity. So they take a part of your company. So the more you raise funds, a lot of times, the more you give away your company. So when you started your business, it was 100% yours. Then after you raise a phase of funds, then maybe you give out 20%, depending on the negotiation you have. Then after a while, you decide, okay, we need more money. Then you raise another fund, you give out another 20%. So all you have is 60%. So the more you give out, the more your share in the company reduces. All right. I hope we are getting the idea. Then the next one, incubators. Now, what incubators do generally is also almost similar to what the accelerators do. But there's a little difference in that startups, incubators begin with companies or even single entrepreneurs, all right, that can be that in their early stage. Accelerators is to scale, just like venture capitalists is to scale. So venture capitalists just provides you money and equity and usually deals with an individual. Accelerator provides you mentorship and guidance and sometimes gives money also. So the same thing for angel investors that comes in at your early stage in business. So also incubators also allows you comes in, they bring you in at the early stage of business to raise your business gradually. So they basically do the same thing, but the stage at which they intervene differs. Then the last two, I said grants and loans. So grants are the sweetest part of funding for entrepreneurs because there is no return. Although it makes a lot of entrepreneurs irresponsible because they know that I've gotten this money, whatever I do with it doesn't matter. And the last one is a loan, which is the last option because I really don't want anybody running a business or starting a business with loan. If you are running a business and it's already fine, there's no problem going for a loan. You are sure you can get it back, right? But if you are starting, you shouldn't start with a loan. Next slide, please. All right, how do you get these funds? Now, know the type of fund you need at this current stage. So you check yourself, okay, what stage is my business? Am I just starting? Or have I started 3 years? I have traction. I have the numbers. I have my books. Everything is well kept. So which kind of funding should I go for? Should I be going for a loan or grant? Or should I be looking for people that will take equity from my business? Secondly, belong to a network or community of entrepreneurs. All right. Information is very important to you as an entrepreneur. During COVID-19, the federal government gave some COVID-19 loans that a lot of people were like, when did this happen? When did that happen? And a lot of people that knew or got clear of those information knew about them because they belonged to a particular community where the information was just shared and, it was there. Our government they are still a little bit bad at communicating information. So if you need to get a funding opportunity, join the relevant networks, join the relevant pages. Then search online for opportunities, sustain a winning mindset. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you should have this kind of mindset in the sense that if you apply for 10 grants, you probably get 1 or 2 at most. So don't say because you've missed 8 grants, you will stop applying. You have to keep applying and keep applying. As you apply, every time you apply for a grant, you learn a new thing. You learn a new thing and you find a better way of presenting your idea so that when next you get opportunity, you will most probably get the fund. Oh, sorry. This next point is learn, unlearn, and relearn. That happens in the process of application. Then apply for as many opportunities as possible. All right, next slide so that I can round up and receive questions. All right, so these are just the 2 websites I trust. There's a lot of websites that are posting opportunities there. You probably know a lot. So you guys can have this and always check them for updates. They always post different opportunities. All right, next slide. I think I'm done now. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. So I'm ready to take questions. If you need me to explain anything further. Thank you very much. I'm done.
Okay, I can ask some questions and ask the question.
Oh. Sorry, I'm struggling to hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, I said for those who have questions.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. It's really.
Can you hear me now? Okay, if you have a question, just put up your hand. Yeah, I can see someone's hand is up. Okay, you can unmute your mic and ask.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Victor, for this wonderful session. I mean, it was really insightful and I learned new things, and thank you very much.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
So my question, though I've already typed it in the chat box, but let me just ask. So I just want to, as regarding pre-seed, can it be regarded as a bootstrapping since it's initial funding for the business coming from different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a form of pre-seed funding, sorry.
So which means we can also call that bootstrapping, right?
Yes. No, we can't call pre-seed funding bootstrapping. Like pre-seed, seed, and series seed funding are phases. So
Okay.
bootstrap is a type under pre-seed.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't want to use them like or, it might mix up the meaning.
Okay, okay. Then the other one again, you said you keep the records with softwares.
Yeah.
Do you only use online record keeping, or you also do offline keeping, like bookkeeping records?
Oh, well, I use online most times so that I can access it from anywhere at any time.
Can you please share the softwares you use?
Well, basically, I use waveapps.com.
Okay.
That's the name, waveapps.com.
And also the incubator, I did not really get it. If you can elaborate more on that, thank you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's my question.
Thank you. All right. So, should I go on, Saifa?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, for incubators, they are for startups majorly, and they can be for individuals. So, what they are doing is they basically focus on people that are just starting. All right. They are unique organizations. It's like a starting platform. So I want to start a tech company, for example. So I enter an incubator program. In that program, they will teach me how to start. Most times people start business without having relevant information and connection. So that kind of incubating program allows you to have the relevant knowledge to start. All right, they provide the resources that you would need, the mentorship, just like the accelerator, they provide mentorship opportunities. But the accelerator is just that it's for those that have been in business for a while. But the incubator is for those that are just starting, that needs to understand structures. All right. They give you assignments, they give you deadlines to meet. Okay, you need to write a business plan. They tell you how to write it. They give you a template, then you write it. Then after a while, some of them provide funding for you, being that they have given you the required knowledge to start. I don't know if you get it now.
Yes.
So it's just like
thank you
a
very much.
program. Yeah. Welcome. Yes. Any other question?
Okay, Blessing, you can go.
Okay, good afternoon, ma. Hello, ma.
Good afternoon, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Blessing Unoka, and I'm really happy to be privileged to be among in this training. You understand? Because this is what I've been researching on for throughout this year. I've been researching on it for a long time. Okay, so currently I'm running 2 companies simultaneously. One is the food tech company is in the seed stage.
Okay.
Food tech company. Then the agri-tech is in the pre-seed stage. We started the agri-tech this year. Then we started the food tech last year. So I'm trying to look for ways, like some of my colleagues, like my mentors, I've not been able to approach them, but I know they do raise money from funds for their business usually, but they will just say we got it from crowdfunding, from venture funding, from angel investors. They don't really talk about grants, and they say grants and loans are mainly for those that don't really know their way about or don't really have information. So what they always say is they get it from those examples I just stated, but they will not tell us which ones are the ones, like what are the names, the examples, what are the names of the people, the venture capital, the venture investors, the angel investors, the crowd funding platforms, the incubators, the accelerators we are to apply to. You understand? We are to apply to. So I don't know if you can maybe shed more light on examples in Nigeria, maybe for Nigerians, Nigerian business owners, the examples you can actually, people or companies you can actually reach out to. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Well, I don't blame them because everybody tries to protect their source, don't you think? Right. So, well, just like you've said, most people that do not know much way around go for the grants and loans, right? And a lot of people that are scared of losing a part of their company, they avoid these guys. All right, so you're asking for specific grant bodies, no, angel investors and all that, right? Okay. There are quite a lot. And when they say angel investors or venture capitalists, this can actually be an individual. Okay? So it's not like there are forever. Of course, there are established companies that focus on raising funding for, people that are just coming up and those that wants to accelerate their programs. I know of Microtraction. All right, Microtraction. I know of ARM. ARM is, I think, a pension company? Yes. They do seed and early stage funding. In fact, they had a program that is it 12 million naira or so? But for that kind of program now, by the time you apply for it, you will see that there are a lot of people it's very bulky to apply, very bulky. You need to pay attention to details. There's a lot of questions they will ask that you might not be ready for. There's this organization called OnCap. Maybe if I get the link, I would send it to the organizers. Let me see if I can get them online. OnCap. All right, yes, unconventional.capital. You can check them out on conventional.capital. Let me drop the link on. Then if you are looking for fun, you should be on VC4A. I want to assume or believe most people know what I'm talking about. Let me just drop this in the chat. So I've dropped the link for the unconventional.capital. All right, you can check them out. They usually have these rounds of funding. Then VC4A is also a very good place to check for fundings. So there are quite a lot. That's what I'm trying to drive at. There are a lot of them. ARM, all right. Okay. First Founders, Coronation. For those that are applied for or that bought MTN shares when they sold it, you must be familiar with Coronation Merchant Bank by now. Ninth Ventures, Osprey Investment Group, Ventures and Trusts. You can search these guys online and get a lot more. So these are some. However, when they talk about venture capitalists or angel investors, it could be anybody. Angel investor just says somebody that invests, or a person or a group that invest in your business at the early stage. That's an angel investor. You don't have so much results, but they just invest. That's an angel investor. A venture capitalist is anyone or an organization that invests at an advanced age of your business. You've grown in business. So they provide you money because you have had some level of success. That's basically the difference. So there are companies that do this full time and there are individuals that do it, right? So I don't know if that answers your question. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, it was helpful, sir.
Okay. So
Hello.
we can check on it for many others.
I wanted to ask, I have a question.
Yeah.
Please, I wanted to ask, I'm into buying and selling, and I noticed that some of the few I applied for is like they concentrate more on those in the production and tech world. I wanted to ask, is it that the buying and selling segments of business, they don't easily get grants? Because I remember I've
What do
applied.
Go on.
Okay, I applied for Tony Lomilo before the COVID. I applied twice before COVID, but I didn't get it. Then last year I applied for Brave. They actually came to vet the shop, but when they got here, then I said, no, that they don't give to buying and selling, that if it was production, they even tried to help me maneuver to get a production site for them to get pictures. They were ready to give, but because of what I'm into selling of baby stuffs, I have a mother care shop. So they just told me that, me the truth, that they don't give to buying and selling. Then there's this other one I apply, I've forgotten the name, but from the questions you see that it's not really for my sector, like this buying and selling thing. So it's I'm just kind of, if it's not loan, meaning it's not, we can't get money. And even the I've not really applied loans from these big bodies, just for microfinance around, which is not really friendly these days because of the economy, the interest rate and all that.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
So you're very correct. To be sincere, most, if not up to 80% of fundings out there are focusing on where the money is, which is for tech and agriculture and production. Those are like the three. Tech, anything tech, there's easy funding. Agriculture, there's funding, then production. Now, for buying and selling, usually most of them don't give truthfully. So that is where I spoke about presentation. There is a way to present your idea, right? So I got Tony Elmelu funding in 2019. I think it's 2019. I got it in 2019. Now, the idea I presented was like a business center that trains people. All right. So my presentation, by the time you read it, you will need to understand me before you know that's what I'm talking about. So a lot of times you need to think global. All right. I know what you're doing is great and you love it. However, can you talk about e-commerce for baby factories, for baby productions instead? An e-commerce platform that deals only on anything baby. Only that you don't sell babies. All right. But if you are talking like, say, an e-commerce platform that sells baby things on demand and also tracks baby's health or something, find a way to innovate around your idea, no matter how crude you feel or they feel it is. Don't just present it that I sell and buy this. No. There's a way to talk about and package. That's a whole different class itself. There's a way to package what you sell so it will sound so nice. So you say, okay, we are into children. I don't know. I'm not so much into children and stuff. So let me just say an e-commerce platform that focuses on the well-being and welfare for children and nursing mothers, something like that. So if you talk about that on your platform now, you provide solutions that are custom made for each child, taking away the fact that the likes of Jumia and the Rex just does a general thing, that you provide something that is more customized, and you have a factory. Now, your factory is not in Nigeria. It's in, I don't know, China or something. There's a factory where these things are produced from, and they are packed, I'm sure there are people that import things from China and they brand it to look like Nigerian stuff. Just find a way to package it. Now, every granting body or every investor has an agenda. So you need to find out their preference and play to their preference. Every funding body and investor has an agenda. Some people want to fund people that are sponsoring anything that looks like climate. So me, I'm selling food and I want to apply for climate something. So I need to do a lot of research to see how food wastage or food consumption or food processing affects the climate. Then I connect it and present it. I don't just tell them I sell food. I will find a way that their interest is visible from my presentation. That is the way. Then for loans, I always advise people not to go for loans, except you're going for federal government loan. That's the safest loan I can advise anyone. And there are a few of them out there now. A few of them. There was this one that, there's a few around right now. Yeah. And they're not so difficult to get. So you can always leverage on a few things here and there, but please always research. Now, if you do buying and selling, you can actually approach BOI, to see Bank of Industry. I think they have some package for people that do buying and selling too. So if you're going to get an investor, find out the investor's interest, design your solution to fit the person's interest. They will most probably fund you. If you're looking for a loan, get federal government loan. If you're looking for grants, do your research to know what they're interested in and package your business to look like what they're looking for. All right.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we're just taking these four hands. These hands up here are the only ones I'm taking. That is Wisdom, and Izuchuku, Idou, Patience, and Blessing. Okay, so I'm sorry, we cannot have all of this. So we're going to have a class, right, where he's going to say all of this in detail. But that class has not started, so that is why this webinar is just a touch on your face. Okay, so Blessing, let's go.
Hello.
Blessing, ask your question.
Okay, no, I've asked it, ma.
Okay,
I
put
just
down your hand.
Okay, I'll put it
Okay.
down. Thank you, ma.
Patience, you're next.
Thank you. I thank the organizers of this program. My question is, I want to know more. There's this National Microfinance Bank that also gives loan. So I really want to know, is it advisable to go with their loan as a starter, as a business starter?
If you're starting a business, please don't collect any kind of. Look for other ways to fund your business. People always talk about funding is the problem, but largely it may not be. It may just be that you don't find a way to simplify your idea. Every big idea has a small unit that it can start with. If you start your business with a loan, you are under pressure and you most probably make the wrong decision. So try to avoid anything that gives you pressure when you are starting. If you've started and you've had some traction, you are sure of some returns, then you can think of a loan. All right. So if you still want to go for a loan, you could look for government loan. Although NISA sometimes gives a particular type of government loan, but I'm not very familiar with it. The only one I think I knew of was the one they did during COVID-19, and I'm not sure they give COVID-19 loans anymore. So, but there are other ones the federal government is doing presently that you can just walk into the bank and make inquiry, and I'm sure they will give you the right answer. But if you are starting, sincerely, we can sit down and think of other ways to get money for your business. It doesn't have to be a loan. It doesn't have to be a loan to start, to avoid pressure. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Ido. We're running against time. So
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sazamas. Please, before I ask my question, please, can I talk about the NISA loan of 18? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Please just be quick.
Sure. Okay. The thing is, NISA, they don't give loan to starters. They give loans to, like say, mainly agriculture, and it's fun. It's for people that are into, how like I say, that have been on grant for at least some years, mainly for expansions. People that want to expand their business. Okay, and but back to my own question. My own question. When the moderator, when he was talking to us, he talked about social media presence, and then it was like at least the business should have a presence online. And I just want to ask that: is it a must that the business has a separate account, or the person's personal account, like my own Facebook page? If I keep posting my things, can I submit my own page during probably all these grant application? Can I do that, or is strictly the name of my business? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So 2 things. Some grant bodies or investing bodies will ask you for your business and they will ask you for your personal. All right. There are those that do that. There are those that ask for just your business. So I believe you plan that your business will be successful and has a future. If it does, you need to separate yourself from it. Yes, that's a professional thing to do. If I ask you now who owns Microsoft, we all know. But when you go to Microsoft's page, you probably not even see his picture there. But when you go to his own stuff, you most probably see his own pictures there. All right. So I would advise you separate these 2 things. All right. Find a way to separate it so that you can start building a brand. Unless your business is about you, maybe you build a brand around yourself or something. That's a separate thing. But if you have a business, you sell a particular product or service, let it have its own page and let it grow organically as you try to work on it. So that when people are looking for information, the only thing they are coming to see is not your face. They're not interested in you necessarily. They're interested in the product. So for me, I believe we should separate these 2 since they both have a future of their own. Thank you.
Okay, Lawal, please ask your question.
Thank you very much for the program. Thank you for the lessons. My question has to do with a business that has been up for some years now, like about 4 years. The business was supported by some incubators, then it grew to accelerators. Then currently the business has a venture capitalist. But now, what can this business do to scale from there? To scale from there, like I'm working with such a venture capitalist, but I want to scale. Which of the funding opportunity can I use?
Wow. Okay. So if you have gone through all of these rounds and you're still looking for funding, I would first of all say maybe you need to sit back. I don't know how much funding you have accessed, but if you have gone through these stages you've mentioned and you are now again looking for funding, you may need to re-examine a few things. Number one, because whoever wants to invest now, we consider all the phases you have gone through and what it's in it for them. Now, if you need to scale beyond the current venture capitalist, you will need to get another person to fund, which is, since you're already in business, another venture capitalist. of course, you can get if you know how to present yourself and attract them. And sometimes the current venture capitalist might be an hindrance for your growth. So you may need to find a way to negotiate your way out. That's why when you're negotiating with an investor, you need to think of the future. The investors that will tell you, okay, if I give you this money now, if you're able to make this particular figure in the next 3 years, you can pay me off if you want, and I'll leave you alone. You know, there's different negotiating terms. So the reason why you want to move on, you're the one that know, you will just have to approach another investor and be open to them, because the moment you lie and they discover in the future, it will affect you. So you have to open up to them. At the moment you open up to them that you have been in incubator program, accelerator, venture capitalist now, they will ask you what you have done with the current fundings and mentorship you've had. And if you're able to impress them, then definitely they will invest in you. But if it doesn't impress them what you have done with what you've gotten so far, they may and most probably not invest. So just make sure you've done something well that is, you know, that will impress the next person you are going to meet to invest. You can definitely get another venture capitalist to invest.
Okay, thank you very much. I still want to continue. Like there are some opportunities that requires you to have a business email, not your own private email. And then you should also have your business website. Are all these necessary for scaling?
Definitely. It's part of the online presence. In fact, I forgot to mention, thank you for saying it. If you can afford it, you should have a business website, even if it's a page business website and a business, what's the name now? Email, not a personal email. You need to have, like, separate your business from yourself. You need to handle it like a separate business. If you don't do that, many investors will believe you are still joking, because all the reputable business you are aware of, none of them has a personal tone to them. Any business that you would like to become that is serious, none of them has a personal tone to it. No personal face, no personal email, no personal phone number. Everything is dedicated. So you also need to do that as much. And at the stage you just spoken to me with, it means you should have a website and a business email and a business phone number. All of these should be totally separate.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, we'll be taking our last question, which is from Izuchuku. Yes, that's the last person. Izuchuku, please ask your question.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm so glad for this opportunity. So I'm into aquaculture. Yeah, I have a fish farm. So I've applied for Tony Elumelu twice. And I wasn't selected. I know they say they actually have slots for agriculture, but I noticed from the participants they selected, I noticed they were focused mainly on tech. And actually the whole rave about tech now, it's quite alarming. So I got this idea. About scaling up, taking it like an e-commerce store that tailors specifically to aquaculture products. It doesn't necessarily have to be the catfish, which I'm into. Just like what Jumia does, they have other people, they have room that you can have a store under them. So basically like Jumia, but for aquacultural products. So I don't know if, because right now, this is like in a startup phase, although I've been in business in the aquaculture sector, but right now, this tech area now, it's totally startup, it's an idea. So I don't know if you could probably elaborate more on bodies that might actually fund such an idea.
Oh,
so
okay.
Thank you. That's my question.
Excellent. I love your business idea. And now, okay, so as is it alumnus now? Yeah, for TEF, for Tony Elumelu, I mean. So I also applied like 2 times before getting it. A lot of times people don't, it goes back to what I said, how to present your idea. Every year so far as I know Tony Elumelu Foundation, the highest grantees are in the agricultural sector. I have a lot of friends when I got mine that also got, they were in the agricultural sector. So I don't know how you've been presenting your idea. All right. That might be one of the things we need to check. All right. So aside that, since you're in the startup space, you will need to do a lot of presenting. You may need to have a lot of pitch deck, like I said in the beginning, where you have presentations. You don't need to wait for the kind of industry that you belong to. You don't need to wait for a lot of funding bodies to come out and say, "I'll apply." No, you are at advantage. There are not as so many people doing what you're doing right now. So if you can project a very nice image online, you may need to talk with a content creator to help you present it in a very enticing way. People themselves will start coming to you very soon. That's number one. Then before you think of going for funding, are you making sales that is convincing to you? If it's not convinced, if the sales and the traction is not convincing you, it will not convince anybody. All right. So if you're going to go for fundings, there are a lot of agricultural fundings. I don't know. I will just, I will see if I can drop some and send to the organizer. So maybe they would send it to you guys on these opportunities that exist, especially for the agricultural guys. So I may not be able to say exactly, okay, go and apply for this now, go and apply for this now. But if you search online, you will see quite a number of them that are agricultural inclined. But sincerely, instead of you troubling yourself so much about funding, it would be best for you to attract funding than for you to go after it. If you go after it, the negotiation terms will be against you. But if you attract it, the negotiation terms will be in your favor. So I would advise everybody, including the person that asked the question, to build such a brand and an image that attracts the kind of money you want. If you can build that kind of image, the money will come easily. You'll be able to apply for the necessary funding bodies that you want. So for those that Tony Elumelu has become highly competitive, and they have the people that are funding them also have some regional, gender, and all kinds of bias that they are now, they involved. So it's a bit more complex now to go through, but it doesn't mean it's impossible anyway. So I will try and see if I can get other bodies that fund agriculture and send it to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Victor. Thank you so much for this amazing session. Actually, I learned a lot. Yeah, I did. Okay, so this is one of the things I'm happy about this program for. I know lots of people didn't take this program seriously, but clearly from everything Victor just said, from day one, this is exactly what we've been teaching you. Everything is connected to the other. And if you're being truthful, for those who have attended the previous classes, you can actually testify that it's true. You started with digital marketing, how to market yourself. You were taught branding. You were taught how to pitch and how to draw up a pitch deck. You were taught financial management as well. But see, that's the problem. Nigerians like to complain about, oh, there is no this, there is no that, there is no money and stuff. But the knowledge that will give you the money, it's at your disposal. I know some people will not want to take everything that they've learned seriously, and then you jump onto the next program that is still doing the same thing, but you have to put in the work. Just being in the class is not enough. Be in the class, learn what you need to learn, and then put it into good use. That's how you make any headway out of everything. Yes, things are hard, but if you have the right resources, you can change all of that. So thank you all so much for being here for this session. And like I said, we're having an extension for the program. Yes, the information will be communicated. Yes, Peter Afolabi will be coming back. He's going to be taking a class. So this is just a 1 hour, this was a webinar. You can have a chance to ask your questions for that class. So thank you all so much for being here today. And please do not forget to fill in the attendance. See you at our next class. And yes, the information will be communicated on the WhatsApp group for the date of the class. So thank you all so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah, the class should come with examples.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so